Good evening to you, and thank you for choosing Hope TV to update you on what is happening within Kenya and the world over. We do hope your weekend is going well so far. You're currently tuned in to Weekend News Watch. My name is Joy Muchache, and I'll be taking you through our top stories for the evening. How about we begin? A section of Azimio la Umoja leaders have asked the church to be a voice of reason on alleged acts of police brutality. The leaders who joined the congregation at Otho SDA Church in Nyando today, led by Raila Odinga, said that it is insensitive for the government to say that the opposition colluded with mortuary attendants to take pictures of dead bodies and blame it on the police. Speaking during the service, the leaders reiterated that Inspector General Japhet Koome is not fit for his job and should resign. Tess Njenga tells us more.
Azimio la Umoja leaders have asked the church to be a voice of reason in crucial matters affecting the nation. The leaders, who condemned alleged cases of police brutality, also castigated the president for lauding the police in the recent protests. Speaking during a service at Otho SDA Church in Nyando, Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni claimed that there was a killer squad set out to kill innocent protesters. They also rubbished claims that they colluded with mortuary attendants to take pictures of dead bodies and blame it on police brutality.
If the church cannot condemn the killing of Kenyans by police, 72 counting, then we start getting very worried about the church. I personally feel scared. Kama kweli wewe ni Mkristo, unasimama na unahubiri, na you cannot condemn the killing of young people by the police.
His sentiments were echoed by DAP-K party leader Eugene Wamalwa and Deputy ODM leader Wycliffe Oparanya, who have urged the church to condemn such acts in the country. The leaders reiterated that Inspector General Japhet Koome is not fit for the job and should resign.
Tangu jana kama wanaazimio tumesema huyu mtu anaitwa Koome lazima akome kuwa IG wa Kenya, sababu hafai kuwa kwenye hiyo ofisi. Tumesema pia bwana Koome na polisi wake waliohusika kwa mauaji kwa njia ya kiholela ya Wakenya ambao tumezika jana, tunazika leo, tunazika Jumanne kule Ukambani, lazima waajibike and justice must be done for these families.
Na pia ule IG Koome anasema ati hao si maiti wale wameuawa, sisi tumeenda kuchukua maiti katika moja ndio tulete hapa. Tunataka huyo Koome aende nyumbani.
ODM party leader Raila Odinga has said that Kenya has come a long way in its democracy and should not retrogress to the days of killing innocent Kenyans. Raila noted that the right to demonstrate is enshrined in the Constitution and should therefore not be curtailed. Raila added that human rights must be protected during demonstrations, adding that there are many ways to picket, stating that they will...
After very heavy price paid by the people of Kenya, we got a new constitution. That new constitution has been billed as one of the best constitutions in the world in terms of human rights provisions section of that constitution. The constitution that guarantees you the right to do what you want to do, the right to picket, the right to petition, the right to demonstrate.
Raila added that human rights must be protected during demonstrations, adding that there are many ways to picket, stating that they will not be cowed.
We will not be cowed. And I've said that people don't have to come to the streets. There are many other different ways of protesting. We can ask the people to stay home and don't go to the street to be shot by police.
Commenting on the bipartisan talks, Raila has said that they can only take place in a conducive environment, reiterating that they are not after a handshake with the Kenya Kwanza government. Both the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio teams have formed their technical teams ahead of the talks scheduled to kick off on Monday next week.
We've agreed, yes, we can talk. But we'll only talk so long as there are conducive environment for talking. We have also said we do not want a share in Kenya Kwanza government. We do not want handshake.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Tess Njenga.
Thank you, Tess Njenga, for that report. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua attended ACK St. Mark's Church, Lokirenyi in Nandi Hills, Nandi County, for fundraising to support ACK churches within the region. Rigathi said he will work with the church to advance the service of God in their unwavering commitment to the Church of Christ and to improve the lives of people. Gachagua was accompanied by David Lagat, the chairman of DL Group of Companies and the patron of the 10 churches in Siligai Parish, Roads and Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, Nandi Governor Stephen Sang, local leaders as well as many political leaders from other areas who helped in building the Church of Christ.
Rais William Ruto na mimi ni Wakristo na tumefanya kwa miaka mingi ujenzi wa manyumba ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Na kwa hivyo nikiwa hapa kanisani leo, tukija kuchanga pesa ya kumaliza kazi ambayo mlianza na rais wetu, niko ile pahali inatakikana. I'm in the right place. Najua wale watu ya kuzimia walikuwa wanatupigia kelele ati kwa nini tunaenda kanisani kila siku. Hawakuwa na habari bahali baraka itatoka. Na ndio wamejaribu mara 5 wanaanguka. Kwa sababu kanisani hawaendi. Wakiambiwa matoleo wanapiga kelele. Fungu la 10 wanasema ni hatia. Sasa hawa hawajui pahali baraka inatoka. Na kwa sababu wangali wako na nafasi, wajaribu kuja kanisani. Mungu atawakumbuka. Kwa hivyo sisi kwa hapo kwa kujenga kanisa tuko hapo. Na Dr. Langat na mke wako na familia yako tunataka kusema asante. What you are doing is not in vain. Hii mali yote huko nawe inatoka hapa kwa nyumba ya Mungu. Siku utahama hapa, utafilisika haraka. Kwa hivyo weka hapa. Hapa ndio pahali ya kukaa. And mimi kwetu sijasikia hata mtu mmoja, labda hapa Nandi, amekuwa maskini kwa sababu ya kutoa kazi ya Mungu. Sijasikia kwetu. Labda hapa Nandi governor yuko mtu amefilisika kwa sababu ya kutoa nyumbani mwa Mungu. Kwa hivyo wacha tujenge kanisa, na rais amenituma na ameniambia kwa sababu tuko na kazi mingi sana ya makanisa. Hii kazi mlianzisha na yeye. Hiyo pesa mumesema target. Tuchange, tumalize hiyo kazi, tuende kazi nyingine.
Education Principal Secretary Belio Kipsang has given an assurance that the government will not increase university fees, as has been the fear. The PS was backed by legislators Ndidi Nyoro, who was the chairman of Parliament Budget Committee, and Alice Nganga of Thika Town, who allayed fears that university education had become more costly and instead said that William Ruto's government has only changed the funding model. Speaking in Thika, Kiambu County, Kipsang instead said about 45,000 students will learn free of charge through state sponsorship, while those who are able to pay fees will be charged a minimum of 22,000 shillings per semester. Kipsang also reiterated that the government will fully implement recommendation of the Presidential Task Force on Education, which, among other things, proposes the establishment of an open university.
The President committed himself in ensuring that there is equal opportunity to all of us. And that's why the chair of the Budget Committee increased the resources to our universities from 44 billion shillings to 84 billion shillings, almost doubling. Through our new, I know there is so much talk about the new funding model. I want to give assurance to all of us that in our new funding model, we will not increase university education fees. In fact, what will happen is that for the first time, 45,000 students, 45,000, will walk to our university, acquire education without paying a shilling. The highest amount our parents will pay is around 7%. which goes to around, at most, around 22,000 shillings per semester, which is less than what we pay in our public schools today. Because we want to make sure that every of our children get an opportunity and make a difference.
That is why the president came up with this new model. And in this new model, those at the bottom of the pyramid, those who have actually no income wherewithal, the government of Kenya will be paying for a tune of 40,000 learners who will be actually learning free. So the government will actually be paying for their entire tuition, and that will be actualized as the learners report to school.
Manyata MP Gitonga Mukunji has put contractors undertaking various government projects in the area on notice, as they must deliver on time and also do quality work or risk termination. Mukunji said there has been a growing tendency by some contractors to abandon projects midway or do shoddy work despite raking in millions of government money to the detriment of the beneficiaries. Speaking in Embu Town on Friday during a meeting with various water project leaders in the constituency, Mukunji said they cannot tolerate these tendencies by a few rogue contractors who give government projects a bad name and also taint the image of the good ones. He particularly took issue with the contractor awarded New Kithumu and Itubua Mutatari water projects to the tune of about 400 million shillings 2 years ago for leaving the site before completing them despite being paid.
Kuna wale watu wanatengeneza barabara wamekuwa na wanaharibu mfereji yetu, kama barabara ya Kangaru Kairori wameharibu mfereji, imetugharimu kama milioni 50 kutengeneza. Namuuliza aulize kama ni waziri wa infrastructure ile tunaweza rudishiwa pesa ndio tuweze kueneza maji mahali pengine.
Mradi kama wa New Githemu na Itabua Water, Itabua Mutatari Water ni miradi ambayo imeweza kupewa pesa na serikali, lakini contractor amekuwa kichwa ngumu, amechukua pesa ya serikali lakini hajaweza kupea watu wetu maji. Tumesema kutoka saa hizi tumempea warning arudi kwa hiyo mradi, na kama hata rudi, mimi nitaongea na waziri alete contractor mwingine ndio watu wetu wa Manyata waweze kupata maji.
Tulipewa contractor ambaye alikuja kwa site akaanzia kuendelea na kazi na mwishowe akatoka. Sisi kama members hatujui ni kwa nini alitoka, na kwa hivyo hatuwezi kusema pengine ni pesa ama ni nini. Sisi tu tunalia aweze kurudishwa.
We're going to be taking a break shortly, but we'll be back quite quickly. Please don't go too far. You're watching News Watch on Hope TV.
Coming up on the Rhoda Kidula Show.
So unajua unapatikana, unaona tu amesimama hapo, ndio ameshikilia uendo. I just hung there and I did not visit. So I went, nikaenda nikapelekwa where she was. They looked at her.
Akaanza kumfanyia first aid.
I looked at her and I asked the doctor, so she's not normal. I think was I am a Christian, I know resurrection happens.
Kuomba akimpe hewa.
I told you I knew natoka hapo with a child that is breathing. Prayed for that. I remember nilikuwa na, unajua ile unasoma venye Elijah alifanya, alilala akampulizia. I did that. Daktari anakuja na just leave me alone.
Welcome back. You are watching Weekend News Watch with me, Joy Mochache. Engage with us on Facebook at Hope FM, at Hope TV. You can find us at Twitter and Instagram, pardon me for that, at Hope TV_KE. Thank you so much for choosing us. Again, as we continue, Our Chief of Staff of Head of Public, that is Felix Koskei, has launched Wi-Fi hotspots in public places in Baringo County as part of the government's initiative to roll out 25,000 hotspots throughout the country over the next 5 years. Koskei said digital connectivity would also enable Kenyans to access higher education cheaply, especially through the Open University of Kenya, which was recently launched by President William Ruto. He was accompanied by Baringo Governor Benjamin Cheboi, Senator William Cheptumo, Women Representative Florence Sergon, Baringo Central MP Joshua Kandie, and ICT Principal Secretary Engineer John Tanui. Koskei called on the country's leadership to finally resolve soon the issue of the location of the proposed public university, which establishment has dragged on for nearly a decade now.
Area hii ya Baringo, mnajua saa zingine tuko na shida kidogo ya hii ukorofi na vita hapa na pale. Tumesema hiyo lazima ikome, na ndio uliona rais aliamuru jeshi iwekwe kila mahali, kwa sababu hatuwezi kubali watu waendelee kupigana na watu waendelee wawe nyuma kwa sababu ya vita, watoto waendi shule kwa sababu ya vita. Hiyo vita lazima ikome na itakoma.
Ningependa kuomba watu wa soko, vijana na kila mmoja wetu. The market, online market now is worth $3 billion. $3 billion is 300 billion Kenya shillings. Iko kwa Kenya online market. Inamaanisha ukitaka hiyo pesa tu ni internet peke yake ambaye hii Head of Public Service ametuletea leo. Ukitaka hata kama huna pesa ya hata kama huna kitu ya kuuza, fungua hiyo nini yako online shop yako, kuja ongea na mama Jerono, mama nani hapa ama kadogo ule wangu wa kutoka Marakwet, ukae na yeye akupatie vitu free of charge kwanza. Wewe unakaa na yeye hapo, wewe ni marketer yake.
Tumefurahi sana kwa sababu leo tuko kwa soko kufungua wifi. Nafikiri wamama wamefurahi sana bila tulisikia jana mnakuja na nikaambiwa niwakaribishe sana na bado nasema karibuni. Ya pili, sisi tumeshukuru sana wamama, sasa wanafanya kazi na simu online. Sasa tunapika nyanya tunatuma. Mwingine anapima pika kitunguu anatuma na tunauza online.
President Ruto has stated that African countries should remove trade obstacles in order for investors to capitalize on prospects in the continent. President Ruto explained that the African continent has a responsibility to make deliberate decisions to increase commerce among its states. Speaking at the Joaquim Chissano International Conference Center in Maputo during the Mozambique-Kenya Business Investment Forum, Ruto said decisions must be made to promote intra-continental trade. He argued that investors would not be able to exploit the continent's potentiality if the barriers hindering free movement of people and goods were not eliminated. The head of state reiterated the need to empower Pan-African parliaments to make African Union accountable in its operations.
My visit has enabled us to strengthen our friendship and to deepen the bilateral ties between Kenya and Mozambique. We've had the opportunity to reflect together, and we took a bit of time yesterday to review our common position in considering many emerging challenges and opportunities, and reaffirm our shared commitment to extend our highly dynamic and fruitful partnership to address many aspects of mutual interest for the benefit of our people and our nations. Our Joint Permanent Commission for Cooperation has been working hard, and I commend both teams. They have expended time and effort and gave us the opportunity, my brother President and I, to witness the signing of 8 instruments that would elevate the relationship between our two countries.
And let's look a little bit at the business news for today. Twiga Foods intends to expand the irrigated acreage at the Galana Kulalu Food Security Project by up to 20,000 acres. This expansion is expected to result in an annual maize production of 2 million bags. The expansion of Twiga Foods farming over 20,000 acres will be developed in 2 stages. That is an initial 10,000 acres, followed by another additional 10,000 acres after the construction of the Galana Dam. Twiga Foods co-founder and group CEO Peter Njonjo said that the expansion is informed by the area's productivity due to the irrigation infrastructure that has been set up.
Twiga will take 20,000 acres. We do have enough water. We have done our estimates. We have enough water to irrigate 10,000 acres here, more or less immediately. We will go back to drawing board because I've been advised that we need to do something about river pollution. So I'll also call upon Kenyans to understand when they pollute, it has a lot of what? E. coli. E. coli is, is not a good organ. And it's going to be disastrous. It can be disastrous.
Unlike other parts of the country, the maize crop takes 105 days here. So it means that with irrigation, you can actually do 3 crops a year, including a rotational crop. And when you take that into account and the high yield, then this has an opportunity of actually creating a huge transformation as far as maize is concerned. At 20,000 acres, we anticipate that we can get to as high as 2 million bags a year. And that starts now making a difference in terms of pricing. Our objective is to ensure that with this yield, we can then give back to society a lower price product that is of very, very high quality.
What we are doing here, as I said earlier, we've set up a pilot phase of 495 acres. And the purpose of this pilot phase is for us to, in detail, interrogate and try out different factors of production to enable us develop a standard protocol which we'll use in the bigger production phase of 10,000 and 20,000 acres later on.
And moving on to the international world, over to Hawaii, where wildfires on Hawaii's Maui Island and Big Island have killed at least 80 people, which has forced thousands of residents and tourists to evacuate, devastating the historic resort city of Lahaina. The causes of the fires, which started on Tuesday night, have not been determined yet. At least 1,000 people are reported missing following the fires, as a new fire currently burns in Kananapali in the West Maui this afternoon. Severe blazes, once a rarity in Hawaii, are increasing in strength and scale, complicating rescue efforts for the small local fire crews. And now looking at some sports, the KCUB RFC edged out Catholic Monks 26-7 in their opening match of Christie's Sevens, the 4th edition of the 2023 National Sevens Circuit being played at RFUEA grounds, Nairobi County. A brace from Austin Sikutwa and a try from Eugene Omondi, buttered by Brian Wahinya's successful conversions in the first half, gave the Bankers a comfortable 19-7 lead against the Monks at the breather. Scores from Bramwell Kilwake and Austin Sikutwa in the second half cemented the Bankers' win in their opening game. The Bankers will face Kisumu RFC in their second match of the day at the Strathmore Leos to close the group stage pairing. Well, it looks like we have come to the end of our bulletin for today. Thank you so much to all those who made the bulletin possible. We do wish you a blessed night ahead. My name is Joy Muchache. See you tomorrow, same place, same time.
Hope TV is where you look and live with an excellent